All right, so thanks for joining, guys. And today I'll be going through some new developments in Jumppl and just taking you through some workflows as well that you can use for your agency and just to manage your day-to-day work properly and better. All right, so the first of all, let's start with the inbox section. So what we've done, there's a new inbox section in Jumppl now, where you get all the activities of your daily, like whatever's been happening, um, and someone is assigning you tasks or someone's commenting on the tasks. You can just open up here inbox and they'll show you what's been happening throughout the day. We have integrated this the same inbox in the desktop app as well. So yeah, so it's at the top here, so you can see everything that's happening over here from desktop app as well very easily. Um, so that's the first thing uh, we that you can use. So let your team members know as well that they if they want to see all the activity for the day, or like they just want to catch up on what's been happening in the account, they can just go to inbox there. uh, then what we're doing is okay, the workload view. All right, so this is pretty exciting. So next thing is a workload view. So something really exciting and something that we've been working on for a while to get this right. And I'll show you. So what happens is, like, from a manager's point of view, you want to go and allocate the task to everyone for the week. Um, so what you do is you go to projects and go to assign tasks. In the assigned tasks, you can choose the person that you want to plan the week for. And say, example, this is Alex Martian. Now, these are all Alex tasks that are assigned to them for the whole, like, between the whole project. So this is one project, there's a few projects, and as you can see, it's been assigned to a lot of tasks. It gets really hard to see these are due dates for that. It gets really hard for you to manage that as a manager. So I'm really excited about this one. What we do is there's a new section here called show workload. You can come over here, and this will give you the person's weekly, like, schedule, what they're working on. Not just that, what you can do is you can actually drag and drop the task from here and allocate these tasks and plan their whole week. This is, this is really good for the manager. As a manager, like, I've been wanting this for a while, where I can visually see that, and I think we've nailed this one. Now, like, I've been thinking for a while, like, how to make this work, and I think this is a really good view. So what you do is, like, you go and you can drag and drop. So I've got a let's say example. I have um the week starts, and I know that I've got a few tasks for Lisa, but I don't know which one they're working on. So what you do is, like, you just drag and drop here, uh, and this will uh, plan the week out for them. And they can just come here as well, and they can click on the task here, and they'll know exactly what's happening, and, like, the task details and where the task is located, which project it is in, um, everything to do with the task. They can just click here and then do that. So this is a really good improvement. We've been trying to figure it out for a while, but I think we've nailed this one now. So I've been using it just for the past couple of weeks to carry out um, all the planning for the week. So this is really good. Now, what you can also do is, uh, there's another view called the workload view here. Uh, And this one, what you can do is you can come and select the group that you want. For example, I want to select this group and create a workload. So this will create the workload uh, for the whole team. So you can select so you can see, like, Alex has been assigned to this task, and you can see the whole view for a group, or like for everyone, or just one group. So yeah, so and then thing is that they can click on it and they can see the details as well from here. Like this. So really helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Um, Let me know if you have any feedback. But we're gonna keep improving these and things like adding tasks straight away. So you can add tasks straight away from here. If you double click this one, I think we have a feature where okay, so but yeah, we're gonna be refining these as well for later. All right. So this was the new workload view and the new groups workload. So this is the group's workload. You can choose one single person as well. So if you say like this, you can choose a single person as well and just hit create workload, and it'll create the workload for this will become the chart for that group. And obviously you can go next view next week and come back as well like this. All right. Now, you might have seen the automations. The next thing we'll discuss is the automations. You might have seen the automation section over here. If you haven't seen already, then what you can do is, if you're the admin of the, if you're the admin, you can click on this button and enable the automations for your team. So just by clicking here, and this will bring out the automations. So let's go to automation and see how they look like. All right, so when you first enter, you haven't got a rule yet, and it'll say create a rule. Automations, you can do a few things with automation. You can, say example, you have a particular workflow where if if a new task gets created in a project, then assign that task to someone else. Or if the status of a task changes, then do an action on that. So these are the first automation rules that we have created. So I'll show you over here when task status in project, uh, or when task is created in project. So I'll just go to this one. When task status in project Sapphire changes to uh, done. So this is the action. So the trigger, and what do you want to action it on? So select an action, assign the task to another team member. And then when you've done this, just say save here. And now it will become a rule in your automation. So you can keep on doing this. You can keep on creating others as well. Say when a task is created in the project, so you get all the list of projects. When the task is created, um, copy the task over to copy this task to another project as well. Reservation. And yeah, so we created two rules here, very easy to create. And we're going to be extending these bit further afterwards. So you can do actually a sequence of automations in a workflow, like in one group. So that'll be really so that's the next thing that we'll be working on. But if for timing, you can do this, and these are really helpful. Um, Someone asked us the other day, like, can we uh, can we create a task, and that task gets created in a few different projects. So um, they have a workflow where a few different clients are doing the same thing, and they just want to add another task to a main project, and that gets added to a lot of other clients. So this one, with using this, you can do that. So you just need to create a trigger, a rule for each of the projects like this. Copy this, and then you can do all of this. So really helpful. I think it's combined with our external API. So we have an external API as well. Um, and the integrations are there, and obviously we are on Zapier as well. Zapier and Integromat. We are on a few platforms where you can do automations. So this is this is a start of a new um, a new workflow creation which you can do with Jumppl. So yeah, um, we are looking at another another useful workflow would be if a new project, a new client comes in, then create a client portal for them and create the task for them and all of that. We're looking into doing that as well. All right. So that's covers the automation part of the topics. Now let's go to timesheets and attendance. Now this is a really good. Okay, so let me go on to timesheets and then I'm recording this webinar as well, so post this on YouTube so you can afterwards you can have a look at that in detail. All right, so timesheets and attendance. So every we find that a lot of companies have different ways they use timesheets and attendance. So some people don't some companies don't track the even agencies they don't track the time at all. They just have a more open relationship with their employees and with the team. Some track the task for every they track the time for every um, task that they do, and they get a list of tasks that are done every day and stuff like that. So what we wanted to do with our timesheet section is make it really flexible. So all these different scenarios can be met with Jumppl. And I think we've done a really good job on doing that. And what we do is in the settings section, if you come to settings, you get a bunch of options over here for the timesheets. So if you wanna if you wanna track the time, uh, start time, and I've got this timer running right now, and so this will become like an entry in the timesheet section, an entry over here. Um, but if I don't wanna do that, if they just wanna say check in and check out, and you just wanna see when the person logged in and logged out, that's all. Then I would have this section off, all of this section off, these sections off. So we have a bunch of settings that show the running time like this. Capture screenshots while working. This is like going to another extreme level of monitoring. Um, Log users idle time. So how long was the keyboard and the mouse not working? Didn't move and stuff like that. Leave management and all of this different settings you can do from here. And based on this, you can customize the workflow to your own needs. Now, having said that, and we have a very open relationship with our employees as well. We don't track the time too much, and it's more of a trust basis. But having said that, what you do is in the timesheet section. This is a really good workflow that I wanted to tell everyone about. Is what you can do is you can start a timer, or even not start a timer, just have one interval going here, and within this timer, what you can do is you can keep adding tasks. So, say example, I have this John has been working for 5 hours, and this is the time period that's happening right now. Now, which task did he work on this in this 5 hours? What you can do, and this is I haven't seen this workflow in any other tools like in the platform. But what you can do is you can actually go to the uh, for example, let's go to the project list. You can go to any task and attach the times to it. So I'll go here. I'll just say time. What I can do is I can go to this task and I can say time tracking, and when I press this, it'll say a timer is running already. Do you want to attach the timer? I say yes. Uh, and now what happens is um, these tasks are getting attached to my time interval, which is really useful because then in a single go you can see what um, John has been working on, um, and you get a list of all of this. I'll just show you. I'll just attach 3 tasks. Go back to the timesheets. Now you can see in this interval, uh, there are 3 tasks attached to the person. Now imagine, and if you click this, you'll see that these 3 tasks over here. Now imagine your team is working um, this is like for today's timesheet, and you can see you can get the live view of what everyone is working on or what everyone has worked on. So this like for example, I click on here and I can see their tasks. This I think it's very useful to see that because then rather than having like going to your staff and saying, oh, what have you been working on, this and that, like in the all this back and forth, you can get a live view of what they're working on. um, and it doesn't have to be like controlled on, like they can set to start the timer and stop the timer. They can just log an entry here and then say I've worked on these tasks. um, and what the thing is, like you can actually download this stuff. So you can say um, downloads and include task. Just click here and uh, you'll get a whole view of what they've been working on. So Hamad Mishra worked on these tasks from the project this, duration, and so on, and start time and time and all of this. Um, some of our like companies that have like 10 to 20 or even 30 people working, people on the platform, they actually track this and then they send this to the client. So it's a really easy way of saying if they're billing the client for their resource, then they'll just quickly do that. And imagine that happening for the whole week. Um, this makes it really, really easy for the clients as well as to make it keep transparency going and to show them what everyone's been working on. So this is a really good view. We don't use this entirely like this internally, but a lot of our customers are doing this, and they're pretty happy with, like because it apart from being transparent as well, the both the side, like the employees and the manager knows exactly what's happening. So that becomes like a really transparent workflow for them and the client as well, obviously. All right. So that covers the timesheets and the attendance side of things, and what I want to show there. Now let's come to the desktop app, new features of desktop app, and so the desktop app. Uh, okay, we've got a few more people joining in, and you can ask questions as well as we go along, and I'll try to answer whichever ones that I can. All right. So uh, when Jumppl as a whole is divided into 3 interfaces. We call it interfaces. So one is the desktop app. This is the desktop app, uh, which you can download on your desktop for Windows, Linux, and Mac. This is the we that's the most used app in our business because it, like we use it for chatting as well as assigning tasks and stuff like that. Then we have the internal portal. So this is the internal portal on app.jumppl.com. This is where uh, all your team is, and you can do all the settings from here in project. And then the third is the client portal. I'm sure you're aware of the client portal, which can be um, white labeled, and you can host it on your own platform or on your own subdomain. So this becomes like a front end facing for your client because the thing is like, and we I've been running an agency for about 12, 13 years. And the thing is, the clients rarely want to come to your main portal because it's so much, it has too much information, right? And they just want to come and they just want to see exactly what's going on, or like, a really streamlined view. Uh, and then they just want to, or they want to create a task or something. And then they don't have too much time. They don't want to spend too much time on that. So this the client portal is a really like streamlined process. You can uh, with all this tabs at the top, you can actually, as you know, like you can customize these and you can choose which ones you want and which ones you don't want. Okay, so what's a couple of I'll show you a couple of nice features on the client portal that you can use for your clients. Um, Now, one is definitely the job request. So job request is, I think this will become a norm in the near future for all the agencies. Right now, so job requests, what are job requests? So, for example, your client wants to create a campaign. How do you do that? You send them, sometimes they email you, sometimes you send them a form. And if, say, example, they're emailing you, that it gets cluttered and um, all the information gets cluttered. If they're sending it to chat, obviously that all that information gets cluttered as well. How do you translate that to your own team and communicate back to the client? And it all becomes a really a big mess, especially for agencies, for example, who are running monthly campaigns or weekly campaigns, and there are multiple campaigns happening. So how do you manage that? Um, you can create a Google form, or like, some people use one form, and other stuff. But the thing with the forms is they don't once it's created, now the client doesn't get an update on what's been happening on that. The client, if client has some changes to do, they can't do that because they don't have a login, or they can't go anywhere to update that. And that's where the job request form, the client portal and job request form comes in, where you can actually create a set of types of job requests that the client can create, and then the client comes and does that, and there's a form involved uh, with each job. I'll show you an example. So, example, uh, let's quickly create one. Um, so you go, the client wants to create a job request, and this can be anything like a paid ad or content creation or a blog article. And they do that, and you can link it up with sub requests as well. And based on all this information, there can be a custom form that can come out of this, and it's really easy to set up. It's like, takes like less than 10 to 15 minutes to create a form linked to this as well. And when the client creates this job request, they create it, and this actually becomes they get a list of all the ones that they've created like this, and this actually becomes a task in the relevant folder. So you link it up with the folder with the project, and this becomes a task in the project. So your internal team gets this request. They know exactly, like, the client knows exactly what the status of it is. The in the internally, so I'll give you examples. This one is prepare the test QA environment. This one is within the main project. Um, Go to product overview. Yeah. So within the product overview, we go here. So that's the project that's been linked to this job request. So these job requests are linked to this one. And now what we do is we go to uh, and this these are all job requests that are coming from the client, and when the status is updated, they will get get updated. The client come in and they can see that that's updated. If they want to communicate on this, like with the team, they can do that as well. So they can actually come and they can uh, comment on this, comment here, or attach files or whatever they want to do. And yes, this one, and this actually goes to the internal team, and they inside the project, and they can see the task here, and they can see the task details. First of all, they can see all the task details, um, and then they can communicate with the client on that, and the workflow flows pretty easily. So this is a custom form that they created. Okay, I'll show you. So these are all the form. I'll show you this one. So this actually, so if you create a new request, let's say product overview, I say create, and this is the form that we created, and the form is based on the custom fields of this project. So this is a project called product overview, and which has a few custom fields for each task. So these are the custom fields, and this will appear when the client is making the filling out the form for the request. Now, all this information goes to the internally. You go and you assign this task to anyone, and they can see all the information relating to that. And pretty easy. So if they wanna, if at the end they have to attach a file, they'll do that and change the status. This way, the client doesn't have to go to the emails um or like fill out the forms and not know what's happening with that. This has we found, like, once the client get creates a couple of them, they really get used to it, and this has been, like, a very popular workflow with the client, especially because they know exactly what's happening. They can comment, they can talk to the team, and they know exactly what's happening. So I think this will be a really popular workflow in the very near future. We just have to educate our users and the industry as well on how to use this better, or get a hang of it. But the clients are absolutely loving it, because what happens is, internally, your management becomes really easy, because these are all the different clients, and uh, you can create you can create this. You can link this project to all different clients, and these job requests will be coming from all over the place, like every client, every so it says share on the portal. So it actually is, these are all coming from different client portals, and internally you don't have to worry about where it's coming from. You just have to the team just has to deliver this, say done, and the workflow goes on. um, and it has helped automate a lot of stuff for a few of our clients. One of the companies that is using it, they have small offices, so they don't use it with the client, but they have small offices all around Australia, two or three people offices, about like 30 or 40 of them. Um, and all their requests come through this system. So they have a client portal for each one of those offices, and they use the same one, and the internal team keeps delivering work for them. I'll just quickly see if there's any questions. No, all good. I think Q&A. Yep, no questions. If you have any questions, feel free to send them, and I will try to answer them. All right. Okay. So this covers our next topic, that was Okay, so I think I jumped over this one. I went to job request and updates and timeline, iframe. Okay, so while I'm on client portal, I'll explain a few other things. So another thing that's really good in the client portal is you can create a few things you can do with the you can uh, do the job request only. You can link all the projects to the client. You can share all the folder like files and everything, all the folders in the for the client in the client portal. You can do it invoicing. Um, you can actually do iframes. So this is iframes is really good. So another very useful thing is the iframes where you can host a few different iframes and create each one of them a different tab. Um, for the clients. For example, this is I'm just giving an example of a newsletter. So newsletter is there, but you can do stuff like you can share Google Docs, you can share presentations, you can actually share analytics as well. So you can host like um, Google Analytics the whole page here, so they don't have to go and that's for each of the client. You can do it that differently, and so the client just logs in and they go on and they see exactly what they have to see, and then it stops from like uh sending them reports and everything, while they can just log in here and they can see everything over here. Another good thing is the update. So what you can do is like you can create an update for the clients from here. You can post updates. You can also link tasks as well. So I'll just show you. So um, I go and select these tasks, these three tasks. I There's a menu at the bottom. You can see over here, share on client portal, post on client portal. If we do this, post on client portal, and let's say update. Um, update, and the client portal name is Acme Company. We say we have worked on these tasks for this, and I say Acme Company, and I say it mentions the three tasks that I've attached below, and I say create post. Um, and what happens is these will come here. I have refresh, and when the client logs in, they'll be able to see that. So the client logs in and they can see um, my post plus all the tasks as well that I mentioned. So they can just click here and the details appear over here as well. So like you can do that. Yeah, as an example, you can say list a bunch of tasks and say we're gonna be doing this month or this week, and the status will change as you change the task status from internally. Now this is a really good way, as you can see, like for updates and all. This is save you a lot of time to having to tell the client within like a couple of minutes. I can post a report on this, and yeah, very easy to when you attach the task over here as well. I'm sure people who have uh, given the brief for the clients, they appreciate how easy this was and how much it'll help them as well. So a few things you can do with the client portal there, and we're adding a few more. We're concentrating a lot on the job request because I think this has a really big future, and I think it'll really streamline the client communication and the internal team communication um, a lot in the next 6 months to a year. Um, we're adding more features to this, plus we're adding a few more other things to the client portal. And I'll have another webinar just for the client portal, um, because we have a lot to cover. There's a lot of stuff we can do with the client portal, and I think and we're finding like even the stuff that we didn't imagine, some of our customers um, are creating workflows that we didn't imagine as well, and that they're creating by themselves. All right, you have a question? Let's see. Marco? Yes, so uh, very easy. What you can do is an email goes out to the client very easily. An email goes out to the client, and they can um, reply to that email, and it'll come in the comments as well. So this we're working on the reply part at the moment, and it should be live next week. Um, where very simply you can the email goes out for this part. For email goes out for a job request as well. So uh, the client will be like the client. If you look at here, right? So these are the people who are in the client portal. If the client was involved here, then they'll get this email. All right. Hope that answers the question. All right. Next, let's keep going. Uh, for how to do it. So, so this was the update and timelines. You can do that. Iframes I've covered, and job requests I've covered as well. Let's come to the next. Okay, so we have another question. Let's answer this if it's on the same topic. All right. Okay, sure. So I'll show you how to set this section. So yeah, I should have mentioned that. Now, if I go to this is in your internal portal. I should go to okay. So inside your internal portal, you'll have a tab over here called you'll have a tab over here called client portals. Now go over to the client portals. Over here, uh, you can do everything to do with the client portal. What happens is you can add a client portal here, and you name this, and you can invite your own members or invite the client. If the client is already on your platform, then you can add them to the new portal. Otherwise, just send them a link when this created. So next, you can create these dash. You can select the items that you want included in the client portal, link the project to it. Like, for example, I did product overview, so this is the one. And there's a few settings over here. And and I think in the next webinar, I'll go through all the settings that we have. Because there's a few of them. There's like, you can customize it to a few things. This is the one with the feed, and you can change the name of the tab. So this changes the name of the tab. Okay, so for example, over here you can say, how do I make this go? In the client portal, you don't have these tabs in here, so you can change, you can name them all differently, easily from here. So I change the name to updates, and that's it. You create the client portal, and it will become a portal like this. And so you can see there's a few portals. They all match to this one. They're all matched to there, and yeah, you can do that simply. Hope that answers the question. But you can play around with the client portal, and you'll find a few things you can do with that. Again, I think this is definitely a topic for another webinar. So next webinar, let's just host it for the client portal, just for the client. All right. Okay, let's move forward with the new features in desktop app. All right. So this is the latest version that I'm using for the desktop app. It is version 1.3.1. It hasn't been released yet, and it's coming out probably uh, next week, early next week. or maybe middle next week. We're still doing some testing on it. Just this alone, this version alone has over 30 improvements that we've done um, on on the platform. So the desktop app is a completely different platform from the internal portal. And why we've done this is it's because if you're using if you use normally what you do is like you use Slack and then you use Teams or you use project management differently. The workflow is uh, the interfaces are different for each platform. Now that's why we wanted to create a totally different desktop app that the interface is suited for chat and suited for really to do really quick stuff. Like, for example, I have tagged this project over here. I can just quickly jump to that project by simply clicking here. Um, or I want to start and because it's a desktop app, it has a lot of capabilities as well, a lot of extra capabilities. For example, the screen recording. So I can create a video and share it with my team, reducing a lot of time for meetings and stuff like that. So here it is. I'm creating a video right now, and when I'm done, I'll just stop the video, copy the link, and send it to someone, or I can just send the video to someone like this. Or what I normally do is I copy the URL, and on the browser, if I want to send it to someone, I'll just put it in the browser, and it'll open up in, in a new window. It's just like you might have used like Vidyard or Loom or stuff like that. That's all built in within Jumppl. Um, take it and you're saving like $10 to $20 a user for this one just by this feature here. Um, I'll show you another next level to that, but let me show this. So these are all the videos here, and you can see the number of views as well. And if you want to come to that later and copy the link, you can copy the link and then send it to someone. So all the videos are over here. Now, in this version, in this desktop version 1.3.1, what we've added is the ability to uh, attach a video to a task straight away. Okay, so this is why we created the desktop app. So there's no boundaries on what we can do. Uh, Now you go here and you just say screen recording, and I want to explain my teammate what to do, and I can just create a video and send and don't have to even send it. They'll get attached straight away to that. So I'll show you this one. Now it's recording, and when it's done, I'll just create. How do I make this one? Okay, yes. Uh, I just attach the task to the task, and there is. So in the web, and even audio as well. So if I don't want to do a screen recording, I can do an audio as well, and I can record this and attach this to the record this and attach this to the task straight away. So this is a really like nice feature that I always wanted in Jumppl, and there you have it. So you can do that. Other stuff is what you can do is on this one. So there's I can see a small bug here. That's why we haven't released it yet, but we'll take care of this. Um, okay, so I can restart the desktop app from this button. If I have any issues, we just restart it, and it all goes back to normal. All right. So in a few other things that we've added, for example, is and you might have seen this before. If I want to, this is a really good workflow as well that I really like. If I want to create a document that I want to work on, so this is like a note or file. I'll just say notes, and I'll just save it, and I can attach this, put this in a folder straight away. All right. Now I can actually go here and just pin this, and when you pin it, it becomes available over here within the top pins. Now I can have several of them here, and I can just go and edit them straight away here. Uh, and you also get collaborative editing. So if there's a few, there's like up to 3 people can simultaneously edit this as well. So it's really good for working with your virtual assistants or other team members as well on content writing and stuff like that. Um, you just save it, and as you save it, uh, this becomes available here. And like yeah, uh, pretty simple way of creating a document and sharing it with them. The new desktop app also has this inbox section as well. So it's the same inbox section as the one in the web portal, and heaps of other stuff as well. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but there's other stuff with timesheets and workloads, and we try to bring the workload, the same workload over here as well, where you get all the tasks from the person. For example here, uh, yeah, they'll get all the tasks listed, so they don't have to go and go anywhere else. They can see all the tasks over here. All right. Uh, Now let's move on to the next topic. So screen recording and new features, that's done. So we don't have too much time left now, but I'll just quickly go through. So we've covered mostly all these topics here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask as we go. Now what at the end you just want to see what's coming in Jumppl, and obviously the big question, ChatGPT and AI integrations. Everyone's been looking into this. We have also started the integrations already, uh, and and we're happy to take any suggestions from you guys, like how we can integrate these things, not just ChatGPT but other AI platforms as well, um, and how to make the platform much better. Obviously, the automations are there as like automations are there as a given, where we can link it up to all the other platforms and like the uh, using ChatGPT, it makes it really easy for the system to understand what you're trying to do and do that. But apart from that, we also looked at uh, client reports on the client portal, automating those as well, where the system knows exactly what's happening. See, with Jumppl, the whole vision with creating Jumppl was to bring all of your data from all of your from a project, chat plus tasks plus files and everything in one place. That becomes a really good and a great tool for to optimize like things like AI on top of that, because AI is served with data, right? And like the better data is, the more AI gets powerful. And when you're dealing with a project and you have all the information inside one place, say example, you're not talking to your client on Skype and then doing the project somewhere else and then doing the email somewhere else. And so if we are able to make this all happen in one place with Jumppl, this will open a lot of possibilities for the how to get summaries out of it, and how the AI understands what's happening on the project, which can, in the future, predict what's going to happen next. For example, you've got uh, every every week, key dates of the year, you have campaigns happening, right? And the next, if you set it up for 1 month, 1 year, then the next year it sort of generates those by themselves and whatnot. There's a lot of possibilities happening. I've been looking at AI for a while, um, and that's something that we're gonna be using a lot in our roadmap. I'm really open to all suggestions that you guys can give to make it better. We also in trying to um, so there's like a bunch of dozens and hundreds of products coming out um, of the chat GPT, like the extensions of chat GPT, and we're keen to um, integrate them as well within Jumble. I know people get scared of like the AI, but it's a reality. Like, you either embrace it or, like, you get left behind. And that's the sort of thing that I have I've concluded to that. Like, so we have to really accept that um, it's not going away. So it won't be like, it won't be there anymore. So you have to like in coding as well. Like, so we've got um, Copilot, Microsoft Copilot coming out, GitHub Copilot. So the code's getting much easier to write. Um, there's still intervention between for a human as well, because you have to make sure everything is right. But it's giving you a lot. It's increasing your productivity. So we have to probably eventually start using that. Okay. So the mail to send every 10 you 40 minutes. How can I send it? I want to know where to send the emails, the mails of clients telling about updates. All right. So I understand that will be automated. Um, okay, we don't have a way of doing it right now. I want the mail to be sent every 30 to 60 minutes. How can this? We can look at generating that, but will it be based on the activity that's been happening, or um, what do you think it'll be based on? And we can definitely look into that, like, so, and if that's relating to AI, you're right about that as well, where we can uh, generate automated emails and up reports and stuff like that. Uh, the first thing that we're going to do, okay, so this is the first thing that we're going to do with ChatGPT, is your weekly report that goes out to every uh, all of our managers, customers who are managers. That will be that will have translation for ChatGPT, and that's coming out in 2 weeks time. So that's in the next sprint that we're doing. Very simple. We already sending a few highlights of the week, and uh, we'll send this as well, like so a summary of what's been happening for the project, for that. Okay, apart from that, the road. So there's yeah. So apart from ChatGPT and things AI, um, we have new designs as well coming. I'll show you the new designs. So we're working on getting some new design in for Jumppl. So this is something of what it looks like. There's a few screens as well that are coming out, but this is the layout. You can see the top part is a bit different, and navigation is a bit different. So we're working on creating new designs that'll improve, and obviously for the client portal as well. So we have to make the client portal really shine out, so you can present to the client easily. And so yeah, a few things coming out from the design point of view. We've In this iteration of the design, we'll try to make everything consistent, because I think we are lagging a bit on design, on making things consistent. That's one of the reasons, is because we're creating stuff so fast that um, the design team can't follow, but the developers keep on putting in new features, and we're not able to uh, keep the designs as consistent. Um, but what we've done right now, I think I am really, like, really loving where we at the moment, where a lot of the features have been finalized, a lot of the things are coming along, and we can take a sort of a break on the development side of new features, but uh, include like design consistency, and also uh, work on making the features stronger that we already have. So that'll be happening for the next month or two. Um, And in the meantime, this is a really good time where we can make the design consistent for the whole platform. And so we have got a new, show you, we're working on a new design guide. So here somewhere on Figma. Uh, Maybe not here. Yeah. So yeah, we have a new style guide coming, which will make sure that all the design from across the platform is consistent. Um, Apart from that, um, the roadmap is for the next 2 to 3 months is definitely improving and putting in chat GPT and AI, not chat GPT, but AI functions inside the platform. Um, Improving that'll make the work easier for the manager especially, and the clients obviously, like, and make the whole business more efficient. um, so that's one thing, the roadmap. There's another roadmap in the CRM, and integrations. Integration, we already have a lot of integration. We haven't documented, my fault mostly is we haven't documented the integrations on the pages, but we have heaps and heaps of integrations already in there. Like Shopify, you can create, if we link to Shopify, we link to GitHub, we link to oh yeah, uh, Gmail. So okay, so I'll tell you what we're working. One of the things that we're working on that I'm really excited about is um, I can go to the CRM. Okay, the CRM is already working, and not totally refined, but what we're working on is a Gmail integration with the contacts. So uh, we're almost done with the Gmail, like, with fetching the email. If the person is on the contact list, um, then to fetch their email and put this in the timeline for that contact. So in the CRM, how CRM works is you create an organization. So this you create an organization as a customer, and then you add contacts to it. The contacts are people that can be on your client portal as well, or they don't have to be on the client portal. And so it's all interconnected with the client portal, with Gmail and the CRM. So it will become uh, sort of so all the communication with the client um, can be handled through Jumppl. So that's our like, vision for the CRM, where it can get it'll make client communication much easier. And with the Gmail integration, you can set will you can set the email that you want to interact with within Gmail. Say example, an email address, and all the interaction with that will go on for the CRM, and also link it to the tasks as well. Say example, you want to um, a comment is coming from a client and you want to attach that to a task somewhere, you can do that. And that's coming in the roadmap. That's obviously in the roadmap. We have a couple of integrations with and also WhatsApp as well. Yeah. Yep. So WhatsApp is a lot of customers obviously using WhatsApp for businesses and for business communication, and we want to integrate uh, WhatsApp with Jumppl as well. So the client communication can be smoothed out a bit. Uh, if you've used Jumpple's mobile app, what maybe we haven't mentioned that we should document all this is you can actually send, if you get a message on WhatsApp, you can actually forward it to Jumpple's chat as well. You just have to go and, like, select uh, Jumppl from the apps, and then it forwards it to the relevant, to whichever group or person you want to do it, and even files as well. So you can transfer the files like that. Okay, so I think we're coming to an hour, and we have spoken a lot about the new features and everything. If you have, I hope this has been informative session. Um, I would have liked to do it a bit more in detail as well, but we'll keep having these webinars um, as we go along. One thing I want to mention is if you want to contact me on WhatsApp or on my mobile, just do this on here 614212 75305. Feel free to message me any time of the day or night, and I'll try to answer whenever answer as soon as I can. All right. So this is my phone number. You can you can save it, send me a message, and let's get talking on WhatsApp or as much as we can. Because the more feedback I get from you guys, the more we can improve Jumble and make sure that we are building features that are more relevant and they're most helpful for you. Um, I've got a lot of um, I run an app agency as well, so I've got a lot of thoughts about which features we can build and we want to build. But it's obviously you can decide, like which are more important. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good weekends coming up. Hope you have a good weekend and stay in touch. And we'll let you know about the next webinar soon. And if you have any questions, just email me, and I'll write my email address as well, ahmad@jumppl.com. Just email me or uh, WhatsApp me, and we can stay in touch. All right. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for questions, Marco. And talk to you guys soon. Bye.